My name is Donna Jack and I'm from Parksville, British Columbia. My daughter Tiana, who's 7 years old, has a rare lung disease. It's called bronchiectasis. The hairs in both of her lungs, in many patches of areas, don't work for her. Also, she has a collapsed lung. A third of her left lower lobe of her lung has been collapsed for quite some time. When she was born, she had very wet lungs. She was in an oxygen tent right in her first week of her life, and she had 90% density in both lungs, and her digestive system did not work very well for her. I've sought out many treatments. I've tried antibiotics. I've tried cortisone. I've tried nebulizing these drugs. Nebulizing antibiotics and cortisone is common several times a day, and probably maybe 30, 40 different types of pills and enzymes that are prescribed from doctors, and constant cupping on her chest to relieve mucus buildup on both sides, sometimes for hours, but definitely several times a day. A vest that would shake her like this several times a day. There was nothing given any sort of relief, and at this point Tiana hardly had any use of one lung and just a bit of use of her other lung, and at least for 15 days in a month she wasn't even capable of holding up her head. She was like an infant. She never even walked till she was 3 years old, and when she did, she would be dizzy and she would fall. I was sectioning her. She would get so much mucus caught in her, and she has a mild cerebral palsy that she didn't form her mouth properly to be able to spit it out and to help herself, but also the density of her mucus was just so thick, and nothing, absolutely nothing helped her. The medicine that she gave her actually made her sicker. She was on Advair, which when I analyzed the drug, it was only recommended by the drug company for children over 12 years of age. And she was given this drug when she was 2, 3, and 4. And she was given it in 6 times the amount of the dosage of what would have been for an above 12-year-old. The signs that she got from it that really hurt her, she would wheeze. She would wheeze from morning till night. All of her breaths were wheezy, and right in her chest you could just hear the wheezing. You could hear the crackles all the time. Once I took her off the drug, within the week the crackles were gone. The doctor said that there was no more help for her other than this medicine, and that she wasn't a candidate for surgery because her lungs were too dense with this lung disease and the excess mucus that's held ongoing in her lungs. Bronchiectasis is considered 100% irreversible by both doctors and naturopaths. I was completely devastated. I didn't really know what to do. I thought I followed all the directions, all the instructions, and I needed to find another way. And I knew that for sure, that there was going to be another way. I was with my girlfriend. She was from Poland, and she recommended to go to Eastern Europe because they have natural ways of addressing medical disease over there. And she told me that they have spas and health centers that would support a natural way when medicine doesn't work. So I applied at 14 centers, and 13 of them said no because she was too far gone. She was unconscious sometimes, and she had a very low quality of life at this point and wasn't very mobile. So the doctors required all of her papers, all of her x-rays, all of everything of the knowledge, and I needed to get this from the doctors here. And when they had this knowledge, they declined her application. Even though they were natural centers, they were too worried about her taking the flight over that it would be not a very good outcome for her. And then one center agreed to take her, and that was the Presnitz Center in the Czech Republic. And how they addressed her was raw food, raw fruits, raw vegetables, unprocessed, nuts and seeds, salt therapy, which is dry negative salt ions that pulls the salt out of her, and it's breathed through a salt room. Water, mineral spring water that's on the mountain, and fresh air. She came home and she was walking and running and playing, and she had full use of one lung and at least well over 80% use of the other lung, even though that lung was slightly collapsed on the lower lobe. The salt therapy and the raw food drew and pulled excess mucus out of her, where she used to have 2, maybe even 3 full cups of mucus that would come out of her through coughing and through her intestinal tract. And now she maybe has half a cup or less. And this is 2.5 years since this process. Tiana Jack has improved every single day of her life, her health. She is a healthy girl. She's strong, she's mobile, she runs, she plays, she sings. And I attribute that 100% to a raw food diet, green smoothies every day. And she loves them, by the way. She absolutely loves them. And fresh air and exercise.
I'm very excited and happy to see my sister Tiana being so healthy and happy with raw smoothies and raw food, and it really makes all of us feel good.
We find various ways to help Tiana with her lung therapy because we want to still get more and more mucus out of her. And one of the ways that we found is voice therapy.
I like green smoothies day and night. They're really good for me. I like green smoothies day and night. They're really good for me. Parsley, spinach, and mangoes, beet-tops and dandelions. Now I can walk and run and play with lots of energy.